Hello, good people. Anyone had a good book recently? Let me know in the comments. Because today I want to talk to you about this thing behind me, which is my lovely color-coded bookshelf. Yay, all the colors. So I wanted to do a little series where I go through my books and how much I love them, and I'm going to go through them by color. So today I'm going to go through the red books up there. And I just want to talk to you about which books I got, which books I've read, which books I still want to read. There's this word in Japanese called sundoku, which means that you just like buy books to like have them. Like you just like stack them up, like just having books around. But you don't actually read them. But I'm only slightly guilty of that. Only a little bit. Anyways, this book, funnily enough, is about my university, the Johnson Center, which I talked about in my previous video, but if you're interested, it's a good one to read. So, you stay right there. Obviously, you're not going anywhere, and I am going to go get my books. Okay, there's a lot of red books. So actually, I left some. And we'll just say that they're orange. So let's see. I kind of pulled them down in random order. So I will just show you in random order. So this book I haven't read, but I'm pretty sure I got it from an event that I went to. I can't remember which event it was. It was clearly a leadership event, but I think somebody I know wrote this book or had this book at their event. But if you're interested, that is the book. This one, I remember I bought it hoping I would read it. I still can. I bought it, I think after talking to my mom a lot about telling your story, which I have a whole video about that. But the power of being able to tell a good story is what makes people really successful and what makes companies really successful. So that's why I bought this book. Let's see what we have here. Conflict Across Cultures. I bought this in LA at the last bookstore on earth because I love learning about different cultures. As I've said a million times, my major was literally language as a tool to break down cultural barriers. So I love learning about how to bridge unique experiences between cultures. This one was a gift. I haven't read it yet. I'm sorry, Dean, if you watch this. I need to read it. But this was a gift from many years ago from a good family friend that I need to read. Oh, I'm sorry, Ariana. I tried to read it. I got in like halfway and I couldn't do it. But I think my mom got this book from her, yes. It's signed. I'll give it another shot now. But Ariana Huffington's book, if you're interested. This I read front to cover so quickly because I have an obsession with North Korea and that thing. Not an obsession, but like a... This book I read front to back, very interested in North Korea, how it's lasted so long, all those different things. So this book is about Kim Jong-un, and it's written by an author that I really love, Anna Fiffield. She does a lot of journalism over in Asia, especially on North Korea. So she finally wrote a book. It's very interesting if you're interested in North Korea. This one, Ashley Graham's book. Haven't read it yet, but I have it. I love her as a model. I think she's really awesome. And she's really broken down a lot of barriers. So I thought I would support her and get her book, but I need to read it. This one I definitely read, but it was a couple years ago, so I need to remember what it was about. Yes. This one I read a long time ago. It was pretty popular a couple years ago. but it's about this woman who finds out that her dad was in the CIA and he was a mole. And it deals with like China and the U.S. and those dynamics between those. But very interesting, good read. Very quick read. Crazy Rich Asians. I remember I picked up this one. And I was like, oh, I just really want to read that. It looks really interesting. And then, of course, it like blew up and then everybody was reading it. I think my brother actually has like my other 2 books. There's 3 in the series. I think he has my other 2, but this is the first book. And let's see. Oh, Candide. I had to read this in high school and I just loved it. I just thought it was such a good satire. You should see all of my notes. Oh my gosh. I highlighted this whole page. What was I even? I might as well have just highlighted the whole page. What is the point? It got better as time went on. But yeah, read this book. Really liked it. And this is a book that I got from one of my reverends. I'm a Korean Buddhist. I don't think I've talked about that yet. But it's about sitting and mindfulness. So I got that from them and was really glad, and I need to read it. This one I started on, I got really into Nigerian authors, and we'll get to that book eventually. I think it's down there. But I got really into Nigerian authors. They have a lot of really great books coming out, and so this one looked really interesting. Need to read it. This one I got from going to Angela Davis's talk at University of Chicago a couple of years ago. She was talking about all the different protests and things that are going on. Need to read it. This I probably took from my mother. It's based on the book The Art of War, which is a business book written for men, and now they wrote one for women. Haven't read it yet. This one I believe I got from I might have gotten this from my temple, I think. But maybe not. If not, I have this book. One time I went to a poetry event with my mother. We got to hang out with some really cool poets like Parnesia, and we bought a bunch of their poetry books. So this one is Angela Jackson's Roads Where There Are No Roads. And they all just have really good poetry books. And this one is sort of about, this is a novel that she wrote. So, really good. Mindy Kaling. I think she's hilarious. I did read this. It's funny. It's a very short read. Very cute. It's very much like her. So, if you're interested in it. This one I started reading. It looks like I haven't finished it. I got about a fourth of the way in. I should finish it. I'm also very interested in China and how they're running their economy, but also how they are running other countries and continents and things like that. So this book was about that, and the author came to speak, I think, to, or not the author, but somebody that I met talked about how this book is really important to read if you want to understand China. So I got it to do that. This one, I'm super interested in languages and dialects. So this one, I was thinking about what it means to like know Ebonics and things like that. And this one I also only got a little bit into. I'm really bad about starting books and then not finishing them. Need to work on that. This one I bought before I turned 30. I've turned 30 now, so yeah. Let's see, what are some tips? Adopt a dog. Narrative arc. Become a muse. All those different things. Find a job I love. Fly first class. I've done that. Become a good host. Visit Russia. Write a book. This was this girl's 30 before 30. I'll probably get rid of this book. If anybody wants it, let me know. A Change in the World is written by Steve Pemberton. Steve was a friend of someone that I know. And so I went to his book signing, and he talks about how he was an orphan and how he got to be where he is now, which is a really successful chief diversity officer for Walgreens. But he just talks about his life I did start reading this and got to chapter 4. See, again, I start and then I don't stop. I mean, and then I do stop. This book was written by this woman, Jan Morrill. I went to the event, part of a Japan America Society event, and they had this book, so I bought it to support. Of course, again, thinking about languages and Spanish and my love of Spanish and Spanish cultures, I mean, Hispanic culture. Bought this book. Need to read it. Ooh, my book pile's about to fall over. This one, I don't have the cover for it anymore, it got destroyed, but The Color of Law. This one, I really, really like. It talks about basically how gentrification happened, how discrimination happened with like redlining, and how laws specifically discriminated against people of color to prevent them from like owning land. And that's something that's really important to me, is owning land and owning property and things like that. So this book, if you haven't seen it, you probably know about it or something. Really popular book if you're interested in learning about that stuff. Oh, book pile's still going strong. And Uncommon Alliance for the Common Good. I'm pretty sure I got this at the national conference for the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program Alumni Association event, because this guy was, I think he was a JET, or if he wasn't, he was one of the keynote speakers, and he had his books there, so I bought it. Yep, it was definitely at the event, because here are some cute photos. Yay! I'm glad I opened this book, because now I have these back. So yeah, that's most of my red books. I will keep doing the series and go through my orange books next, and then we'll go to yellow, and then we'll go to green, and then we'll go to blue. And I'm gonna stop for today because it's about to rain, and it's probably kind of hard to see me. So I will see y'all later.